हेलो प्रणाम नमस्कार तत्व गर्ल एक सोच एक आवाज एक बार फिर से आपके साथ और आप सुन रहे हैं मेरा इको फ्रेंडली सस्टेनेबल लिविंग पॉडकास्ट ग्रीन तत्व टॉक्स। फास्ट फैशन सब जगह है, ये हम सभी जानते हैं। इन जस्ट अबाउट एवरी मॉल, एवरी मार्केट, इन द फीड्स ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंसर्स ऑन सोशल मीडिया who are somewhere promoting overconsumption, and even in the ads constantly popping up online. एंड अभी रिसेंटली मैंने एक बहुत अच्छी लाइन पढ़ी दैट राइट नाउ द प्लैनेट इज पेइंग द प्राइस फॉर ह्यूमैनिटीज unsustainable patterns of consumption and production, which was said by Elisa Tonda, who's the Chief of Resources and Markets Branch of the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. In its transition towards circularity, the fashion industry has huge power to encourage solutions for lower environmental impact that keep clothing longer in use, supporting reuse, upcycling, repairs, and rental, so as to redirect aspiration to more sustainable lifestyles. UNEP, through the Textile Initiative, is focused on accelerating the transition towards a sustainable and circular textile value chain. I'm just hoping because a recent report कहती है कि 2 to 8% of planet warming greenhouse जो है वो टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर से ही आ रहा है. What we don't realize is कि एक एक कपड़े को बनने के लिए कितना कितना लीटर पानी यूज हो जाता है. मतलब even the report says the industry consumes 215 trillion liters of water per year, or the equivalent of 86 million Olympic sized swimming pools, emits 9% of annual microplastic pollution to oceans, and uses approximately 3,500 chemicals in production, the same report found. So यहाँ पर सिर्फ टेक्सटाइल ही नहीं, पोल्यूशन भी है, क्लाइमेट एक्शन भी है, ग्रीन हाउस एमिशन है गैस का. लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग शायद एक चीज से सेंट्रिक होकर. So what can we do? What are the solutions? क्या solutions available हैं? Can we look out for alternatives? Are there sustainable materials really available? क्या sustainable cotton farming available है? क्या हम consumption को reduce कर सकते हैं? There are lots of ifs and buts and what we can do. तो चलिए आज ग्रीन तत्व टॉक्स पर कुछ इसी से रिलेटेड डिस्कशन करते हैं एंड देखते हैं कि एक क्लोथिंग के सफर को एक यूथ उसकी साइकोलॉजी को कैसे अंडरस्टैंड करता है. बिकॉज आज मेरे साथ है समृद्धि गुप्ता ऑन ग्रीन तत्व टॉक्स. तो समृद्धि से बात करने के लिए जो कि एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी एंथुजियास्ट है, लेट्स वेलकम हर ऑन ग्रीन तत्व टॉक्स पॉडकास्ट. हे समृद्धि, वेलकम टू ग्रीन तत्व टॉक्स. हाउ आर यू?
Hello, Prachi. Namaste. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for inviting me on the.
That's really great, and that's really my pleasure that you are on Green Teppa Talks. A little bit about Samriddhi बात करने से बात आगे बढ़ाने से पहले, as I said, Samriddhi is a sustainability enthusiast. She's already a master's in resource management, and she's also pursuing her PhD in development and livelihood. She is a eco-conscious youth of today who believes in low waste lifestyle. She has been sharing a lot of sustainable habits, DIY projects on her Instagram handle, जिसका की नाम है ब्लैंड बोबा. समृद्धि, बात तो मैं ऑफ कोर्स बाकी टॉपिक्स पे आऊंगी ही आपसे करने के लिए. सबसे पहले तो मुझे ये बताओ, ये इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल के नाम के पीछे का क्या रहस्य है? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ब्लैंड बोबा एंड व्हाट इंस्पायर्ड यू टू स्टार्ट दिस सस्टेनेबल जर्नी ऑफ योर्स, प्लीज.
Okay. So I started this journey when I was back in college. I was just a 22-year-old, and I did not have a social presence, and I did not believe in it. Like, being on social media was not my cup of tea. But, I joined this internship with Greenpeace, and there I got to know about, what are the perks of, raising awareness about a cause on social media. And through that, I just learned the perks. And, then I thought, maybe I should also join Instagram and just share my day to day habits, because in all, I used to do all the sustainable habits at home, you know, things like composting, making bioenzymes, or thrifting, and saying no to plastic. And my peers and colleagues and even my friends for say were, really inspired by it, and they were like, you should make content about it, and it's a very good habit of yours. But that kept me going. So when I, came on Instagram, I was like, what should be the handle name? So I kept thinking, and one day I went to this mall, and I was having this cup of boba tea. And being a K drama addict as I am, I really wanted to try it because I thought, there's something about it, like, something about these new things that, what makes you want to try it as a Gen Z, or as a young person. So I wanted to try, give it, everything. But when I went, the cup costed me 300 rupees, and it was a plastic cup with a plastic lid and plastic straw. And I thought, 300 bucks for this thing. When I tasted it, was absolutely bonkers, really sad. And I was like, why did I pay 300 for this thing that is going to cost insanely high on the planet's thing, and it is going to be going in the landfill. I can't take this used cup and roam around the mall, and it's just a weird thing. Like, I have to put it in the dustbin, I can't take it home for recycling. So it was just another thing that added a lot of anxiety in my heart. Like, I have a lot of eco anxiety whenever I have to make any action, or I have to do anything that is going to tax on the environment. It does cause me some kind of anxiousness, and I do feel like, why am I doing this? And although I don't take it to extreme levels, but yeah, there is a question that, why am I doing this, and what is the impact it is going to cause. So when I came back home, I kept thinking, boba tea was so bland, and why did I pay so much, and why did I put that cup in the dustbin? So that experience made me come up with this thing that, most of our life experiences per se, as Gen Z or as a younger generation who is living in this modern world, in urban world, is coming up with new experiences, these experiential things that we want to make, that are mostly bland in nature, but have a huge tax and cost to pay for the environment. So I thought, why not use this tagline, Plan Boba, and then, go about it and raise awareness for the cause of environment and how we can save and do a little bit. So my page is all about small steps to sustainability, how we can, in a day-to-day habit, incorporate, little bits of sustainability in our life, and how, if we do it as a community, as a whole society, and exceptionally as a generation, how is it going to impact the environment? So the content is all about it. If you see, I don't talk about big things like sustainable development goals and what are the indicators. I can talk about that. And actually, I did all my education, and all I studied was this. uh, and but in a way, I felt, even developing nations can't achieve it. India is not going to achieve it by 2030. No developed country is going to achieve it by 2030. And in a way, I feel like it's a sham. So, talking big talks is one thing, but starting small is all we can do, as a community, as an individual. So that's all about Plan Boba.
That's really wonderful. And Samriddhi, kudos to you because बहुत अच्छा लगता है. I'm a mother of a teenager. So जब आपने ये बोला ना कि सोशल मीडिया पे आने का आपका मन नहीं था, but when you came, you actually wanted to have something that is having an impact. तो ये जो सोच है आज की यूथ की, hats off to that, and that's really wonderful कि I must say thanks to that boba tea, which maybe sounded bland to you, but when all to all my listeners, guys, her Instagram handle is bland underscore boba, and you should read bland as a grand, what she says, but obviously, and as she says, she has been sharing a lot of small, doable activities on her Instagram handle, which are actually possible. हमने रियूजेबल बॉटल्स हैं या क्लॉथ बैग है, इन सब की बातें तो ऑफ कोर्स बहुत सारी की हैं. अच्छा ये लगता है कि आज का यूथ जागरूक है, द पीपल लाइक यू हु आर एक्चुअली, हम जिसको बात करते हैं जेन जी या अल्फा जनरेशन, जो अपकमिंग डेफिनेशंस आजकल आ रही हैं, इफ दे आर सो मच अवेयर, समवेयर वी फील कि हाँ शायद अवेयरनेस है, although the percentage is very low, I know, but still एटलीस्ट यू पीपल आर अवेयर, और ये चीज बहुत बहुत ज्यादा अच्छी लगती है। ओके समृति, मैं ये पूछना चाहूंगी कि जैसे ऑफ कोर्स आपके हैंडल पे मैंने कई रील्स देखी, उसके बारे में ऑफ कोर्स मैं थोड़ा सा बाद में डिस्कस करूंगी। एक छोटा सा सवाल पूछूंगी कि यूथ की बात हम जैसे ही करते हैं ना, सो एक जो स्टीरियोटिपिकल थॉट है दैट इज लाइक दे आर ट्रेंडी, दे आर फैशनेबल। सो जब हम बात करते हैं फैशन की, द वेरी फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट व्हिच कम्स इज फास्ट फैशन, जो कि एक ट्रेंडिंग सा वर्ड बन गया है, एंड इट इज हैविंग सिग्निफिकेंट एनवायरमेंटल इम्पैक्ट जो कि हम सभी देख पा रहे हैं, बिकॉज टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री, जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी कहा, इट इज द सेकेंड बिगेस्ट कंज्यूमर ऑफ वाटर। सो फास्ट फैशन वाटर के साथ साथ पोल्यूशन, एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इन लेयर्स विच इट इज अफेक्टिंग। सो मैं
Hmm.
आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी कि जैसे हम ये जानते हैं कि वाटर पोल्यूशन है, एयर पोल्यूशन है, माइक्रोप्लास्टिक पोल्यूशन है, वेस्ट है, लैंडफिल पोल्यूशन है, lot of things are just connected to with this one word called fast fashion. मुझे ये बताओ, एज अ यूथ, आई एम श्योर कि यूथ के ऊपर ना कहीं लाइक मैंने जैसे कहा कि आई एम मदर ऑफ अ टीनेजर, एक प्रेशर रहता है, राइट? मे बी टू लुक ट्रेंडी, मे बी टू बाय दिस फास्ट फैशन। हाउ डू यू मैनेज, मतलब मैं स्ट्रेट अवे फ्रॉम द यूथ जानना चाहूंगी, is it difficult to convince your peers? Is it difficult to let people know that yes, you believe in slow fashion? How do you manage all these things, and what is your take on this fast fashion, and what are the substitutes which we can look forward to, please?
Right. So, I'm really new to the concept of fashion. Actually, when, growing up, I used to have one t shirt that I used to wear every day, and my peers have to remind me that you're wearing the same thing since 1 week, and we are noticing it. Are you even washing this thing? So, that was my sense of fashion back in school. And, coming to college, yeah, I think, I was in a girls' college, and there the sense of fashion is really, a thing. I felt that, people are so nicely dressed. I'm less worthy of, being, accepted in my peer group, or, being valued in a society where, how you appear or what you're wearing is going to matter. People are going to ask you, where did you get it from? And I can't answer that, I really don't know. My mom got it from a nearby store, and that's what I'm wearing. So that was, my sense of fashion. But as I grew up, I couldn't wear those clothes that I was wearing, though
Mhm.
they still fit me. And to date, I can wear what I was wearing as like a 14-year-old. So, I have those clothes, but wearing the same thing becomes a difficulty when you are in a, college setting, or when you are going out for work. So you have to fit in the norm somehow to be accepted. And that's something that I kept feeling like, uh, maybe I can score really well, maybe I can be branded as a nerd. But to be accepted, or to be able to be talked to, is something that maybe my clothes have a perception on it. But at least as a child, or as a teenager, or as a young adult, I used to feel like that. Later on, I realized that it's not that, fitting in it's not about your clothes, it's not about what you are wearing or what fashion is. It is about how you perceive yourself, and how you are carrying yourself, and how you're talking to people. And that's only that age is going to come, a learning that age is going to give you. But as a young adult, or as a Gen Z, I would feel that nobody talked about this to me. And by the face value, what I picked up was that what I am wearing, or what fashion is going to tell people about me, is all that matters. So I did indulge in buying fast fashion, going to H&M, looking at new trends, what I can buy, and how I can modify my wardrobe. I took tips from my friends, what can be worn outside, and what is trendy now. And I took all the tips that I can, and I actually had papers on fashion. So I did my bachelor's in home science, and it has fashion and textiles all 3 years. So I had the papers. I talked about trends, made mood boards. So a sense of fashion was then inculcated in me to look at the colors, look at the color theory, how, my skin tone is going to impact the, fashion and the wardrobe I'm going to wear. So there I had a sense of fashion, but yet something did not fit well with me. I did not know about fast fashion and how fashion is going to impact the environment back in college. And I'm, sharing this experience because I know most of the people who are in that age group, who are, back in college, who are 20 to 25-year old, do not know about this. How are their, fashion choices going to impact the environment? And actually did a survey last year, and we studied how people make clothing choices, and especially people in the age group of 18 to 30 years. So we saw a pattern that, quality of the clothing is the least preferred choice that a person keeps in mind. They keep in mind the affordability of a cloth, or where the brand is coming from. Let's say a clothing article, if it belongs to a brand, they are more likely to make a choice based on the brand choice or the affordability of the clothing. And the place that they're going to buy mostly depends, in Delhi, if the consumer, we looked at the consumer as well. So if the consumer is from a metropolitan like Delhi or Mumbai, it is more likely even that, people from higher income group made a choice to go to a flea market and buy clothes. Now, if you look at the percentage of clothing that is, coming to a flea market, it is mostly trash from big brands who, just dump their clothes in, these flea markets. Let's say Sarojini Nagar. All of it is actually hands me down from developed countries like, America or from South Korea. But we don't really care about it, do we? Now, if we talk about fast fashion, it is a kind of industry that has created a vicious cycle in young minds, where we have a perception that consumption of clothing is what our perceived value really means. So, the study that I conducted was on the same aspects, like, what is the psychology of clothing that we are consuming. So,
Hmm.
one thing that, really stayed with me out of that data was that, how young minds have a perception, the color, the, and whatever I learned, the silhouettes, and, about fashion, how fashion really is. It is about the color, the silhouettes, and the kind of fabric that, a cloth really has.
Hmm.
Young minds do not care about it. They'll care about the appearance of a cloth,
Hmm.
how affordable it is, and how trendy it is. That's all that matters.
Hmm.
How much a cloth is going to last and how it is going to impact the planet, it comes secondary. And not many young people actually make the choice. So in our data, actually less than 2% of young adults had that in their mind, that quality of the cloth or how it is going to impact the planet is a consideration they would be making. So coming to that point, you know um, there is a statistic that, really haunts me, that 92 million tons of fabric annually goes to a landfill or to developing countries in Africa, or let's say India, and we are the ones consuming it. And even when we talk about, small steps to sustainability like thrifting, uh, we are really don't know, we don't know, because thrift stores now sell clothes that are labeled surplus.
Hmm.
Surplus means, those fabric are really coming from big brands and being dumped in. Now when we talk about slow fashion, or we are talking about, sustainable fashion, we must keep in mind that, something like thrifting is only sustainable when you do it right. Something like slow fashion is only going to impact the planet right if we are doing it in the right means. We don't have the means, we don't have the systems, and we don't have the consumers who are making the right choices. And how are we going to create it? If you're, we hear these words, we are investing in slow fashion, we are thrifting clothes, but honestly, even when I'm trying to do it, I don't find the right systems to do it, and it is really hard. if I'm going to invest in a clothing, now I've started investing in Indian fashion. And our original indigenous brands. I mostly buy saris and I wear saris to work. And you know that really makes me look old. But yeah, that's what I've tried to do. Wearing like my granny saris or my mom's sari. That is what I'm trying to do. But at the end of the day, I'm still a 26-year-old and I still have to fit in the norm. Sometimes I do not have time in the morning to, just make the pleats and, wear a sari and go. On those days, I just put on a hoodie and I'll just leave for work. But and those days I would not like to be looked at. I would not even make eye contact with my peers. I'll just sit on my desk and do my work. So, it has some lasting impacts when a whole society is doing things in a way and you are trying to break the norm. So all of these experiences I want to share with the audience, how sustainable fashion really looks like. And yes, it comes with its own set of difficulties if you're trying to break the norm and fit in a system that does not support you. Yeah, you have to come up with your own thing.
That's really beautiful. दो तीन चीजें बोलूंगी. समृद्धि, you look really gorgeous. And साड़ी में आप बिल्कुल ओल्ड नहीं दिखते हो, बहुत प्यारे दिखते हो. And there are ways, I think, which you can opt for. Instead of blouse, you can try it with a t-shirt or a shirt, I'm sure. And as a Gen Z, of course, you know all these things. Okay. दूसरी बात मैं करना चाहूंगी, जैसे कि आपने अभी कहा, बिल्कुल सही कहा, फास्ट फैशन का पोल्यूशन बढ़ने का मेन रीजन यही रहा है कि मास प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, लो प्राइसेस दे आर गिविंग. एंड जैसे कि हम बात कर रहे थे, दिल्ली जैसी जगहों में, जैसे सरोजी नगर जैसी शॉप्स, मार्केट्स अवेलेबल हैं, जहां पर 100, 200, 250 तक की रेंज में यू गेट लॉट ऑफ क्लोथिंग. एंड यही जो ब्रांड्स का सरप्लस की आपने बात, अब उसकी क्वालिटी मैटर नहीं कर रही है, पुअर क्वालिटी भी चल जाती है जस्ट बिकॉज की ब्रांड का ठप्पा लगा हुआ. एंड ऑफ कोर्स दैट लीड्स टू ओवर कंजम्पशन, बिकॉज स्पेंडिंग पावर भी लोगों के पास है. दे थिंक कि 1,000 रुपए में मैं 5 टी-शर्ट ले सकती हूँ या ले सकता हूँ, इंस्टेड ऑफ कि मैं 1,000 या 1,500 की एक साड़ी या सूट ऐसा ले सकती हूँ जो लॉन्गेटिविटी में चले. लेकिन अगेन, येस, यू आर वेरी राइट. एंड एज अ 26-year-old, hats off Samriddhi, kudos to you that you tried your best to stick to these sustainable practices. It's hard, I know. It's really not difficult. Like मैं अपनी यूथ में, of course, I was also a outfit repeater till date. लेकिन तब का टाइम और अब के टाइम में there is a lot of a difference. ये टर्म्स तब एग्जिस्ट नहीं करती थी. इतना प्रेशर शायद नहीं था, या उस प्रेशर को हम उतना ले नहीं पाते थे जितना आज की डेट में आप लोगों के साथ शायद हो रहा है, ऑफ कोर्स. तो अगर हम सोल्यूशन की बात करें, तो आई थिंक सोल्यूशन एक वन सोल्यूशन तो है नहीं. बट yes, like you said, the sustainable materials, choosing what where our moms, our grannies used to wear, or finding a clothing which last long. जैसे there are fabrics जो handlooms हैं या जो बहुत दिनों तक टिकते हैं. Then again, reducing consumption, we should buy a better quality product. जो आपने कहा कि जैसे क्वालिटी पे ध्यान सेकेंडरी जाता है, आई वुड से कि क्वालिटी पे ध्यान शायद पहले दें, तो वी कैन हैव अ पीस ऑफ क्लोथिंग जो बहुत लंबा चलेगा. So yes, of course, I would request all my listeners to please choose a fabric. आप ये मत सोचिए कि just because trends are there, just because advertisement is there, कि हमें कपड़े बदलते रहना. Because what is the main problem with every person around me also, जैसे मैं अब इतने इंटरव्यूज देती हूँ, people just don't realize कि एक टी शर्ट, एक जीन्स या एक फैब्रिक को बनने के लिए कितना पावर, कितना वाटर, कितना ट्रांसपोर्टेशन यूज हो जाता है. दे आर जस्ट नॉट कंसर्न. व्हाट दे आर कंसर्न अबाउट इज 100 रुपए की चीज मिल रही है, 200 की चीज मिल रही है, व्हाई नॉट बाय. बिकॉज मुझे ऐसा लगता है कभी कभी ना, ऐसे टाइम पर यू शुड टेक दोज पीपल टू दोज लैंडफिल्स एंड शो देम द रियलिटी कि जस्ट सी व्हाट एक्चुअली इज हैपनिंग एट दीज डंप साइट्स, जहां पर बरसों से पड़े हुए कपड़े सड़ रहे हैं, बट दे आर नॉट गेटिंग डीकम्पोज. ओके. दूसरी से आपने बात की, यहाँ पर मुझे एक कोट याद आता है एलिजाबेथ एल क्लाइन का. Clothes could have more meaning and longevity if we think less about owning the latest or cheapest thing and develop more of a relationship with the things we wear. यहाँ पर जो जैसे आपने कहा था ना कि जैसे मेरी ग्रानी की साड़ी, वो वाली चीज बीच की जनरेशन में ना कहीं गुम गई है. लाइक आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर व्हेन आई वाज यंग, तो ना एक ट्रेंड था कजन्स के कपड़े पहनने का. आप छोटे होते तो इट वाज अ नॉर्मलाइज्ड थिंग कि आप अपने किसी बड़े कजन का, अपने बड़े ब्रदर या सिस्टर की चीजों को पहन रहे हैं. विद टाइम इट सडनली चेंज टू बिकॉज पीपल हैड द स्पेंडिंग पावर, सो उन्होंने कहा नहीं हम तो नया ही खरीदेंगे। स्लोली 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 इट चेंज द माइंडसेट एंड सबको ये लगने लगा कि हम जब खरीद सकते हैं तो वाई नॉट। अब यहाँ पर आती है बात कि जैसे आपने दो टर्म्स यूज की, एक थी साइकोलॉजी ऑफ क्लोथिंग एंड आई विल कम टू अनदर वर्ड विच इज द परसीव्ड वैल्यू ऑफ क्लोथिंग। नाउ मैंने एक टर्म सुना था इन long back in one of my interviews, this क्लाइमेट वाली शी शेयर दिस 30 वियर कॉन्सेप्ट, जो कि मुझे बहुत पहली बार पता चला था कि किसी भी कपड़े को एटलीस्ट मिनिमम 30 टाइम्स आप पहने, इतना तो भी आपको उसको अहमियत देनी चाहिए। सो व्हेन वी टेक इनटू द साइकोलॉजी या ड्यूरेबिलिटी या परसीव्ड वैल्यू, सो क्वालिटी जो कि लोगों के लिए बाद में आती, मैं तो कहूंगी सबसे पहले आनी चाहिए। डिजाइन, brand, I would say, I think people should be more concerned about the local handlooms, the local weavers, rather than the tags which are coming from outside the India, which are international brand। and उसी के
Hmm.
साथ जाती है उसमें सोशल एंड इमोशनल वैल्यू, राइट। सो मुझे ये बताओ कि जब हम बात करते हैं क्वालिटी की, जिसमें कि हम चाह रहे हैं ड्यूरेबिलिटी हो, डिजाइन की बात करते हैं जिसमें कि आजकल नाउ देयर इज थैंकफुली अ ट्रेंड विच इज आस्किंग फॉर एस्थेटिक्स, स्टाइल, ट्रेडिशनल वैल्यू, हैंडलूम्स, फिर हम उसमें ऐड करते हैं ब्रांड्स की। तो मुझे ये बताओ कि इस सब का जो एक सब्जेक्टिव नेचर होता है या मार्केटिंग इम्पैक्ट होता है, या जैसे हमने बात की कि साइकोलॉजी में सेल्फ इमेज भी मैटर करती है, तो एज अ यूथ जब आप, ऑफ कोर्स इट्स डिफिकल्ट, मैं बिल्कुल मना नहीं करूंगी, ऑल्दो आपकी रील्स में मैंने बहुत देखा है दैट यू आर प्रमोटिंग ऑल द क्लोथ्स व्हिच गो लॉन्गर, हैंडलूम्स के लोअर्स हैं या दीज काइंड ऑफ क्लोथ्स व्हिच यू आर यूजिंग, हाउ क्लोथिंग इज यूज्ड, मतलब उसका जो भी कलर की बात करो या ट्रेंड की बात करो, हाउ डू यू फील कि इस चेंज को या इस कॉन्सेप्ट को हम लोगों को कन्विंस करने के लिए, मतलब हम जो साइकोलॉजी की बात करते हैं या परसीव्ड वैल्यू की बात करते हैं, what do you as a youth think can be used as a way to convince people to spread the awareness, or what are the alternatives you feel are easily available जिससे कि हम लोगों को बता सके कि yes this is a doable thing, वो बताओ प्लीज।
Hi. So, yeah, this is a very nuanced thing that you talked about. And when we are talking about systems theory, there's this thing called systems theory where we talk about a product as a system, not as an entity. So, I would also talk about clothing as a system, not as a product, right? And when we talk about how fashion industry right now operates, there are few big players who own the industry, and it is not just fashion, it is most of in after industrialization, this is the norm, that a particular industry is dominated by big players. And very sadly, fashion industry right now is dominated by these big brands, and you name it and you have it. There is a huge sense of being belonging to these brands, and owning these brands that comes with a pride, a sense of attachment, and a sense of fulfillment for its consumers. So it is a very vicious cycle, a system that these brands have created for the consumption of the whole thing. There is also something called as planned obsolescence that the fast fashion industry is now using. They are using cheaper and cheaper materials to cut down the cost of the clothing, to gain more profits, and to promote a sense of belonging. So you'll see big celebrities wearing a particular type of fabric. The brands are using all of these, the brand image of a celebrity, a brand image of an event. You have Diwali, you'll have these brands coming up with their whole line of fabric. You have Holi, so they'll celebrate it with white colors. You have to have this t-shirt. And around all of these festivals, you have these clothings that come up in the market. They sell out quickly. Holi pe, you'll see there are so many t-shirts being sold in the market with Holi quotes written on it. And they'll have this agenda to sell more. The brands operate on sales, and they have a very, how would I say, evil intention of selling.
True,
So
true.
And all of this system that is creating is also impacting the value of clothing, I would say, because slowly we are forgetting how fabric is made. You
Mm,
know, when younger students, I remember going to a loom and seeing how we have looms in our college,
mm,
and we see and we make clothes by our hand. And when ताना और बाना चढ़ाना पड़ता है हमें, so there is something called tana and bana that goes through the loom. And when we do that, it is so taxing. The needles pierce our hands, and when we are doing manually, it takes time.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah, we cry literally. It's a big loom and we do it by hand, and after a while we are like, we can't do this. And who are people behind
Like
it who
it.
are doing.
We do.
So we have power looms, but just as a student who had looked at these things from a academic perspective, I have a great sense of admiration for our traditional hand looms and our handicrafts, because it takes time, it takes energy, and it takes a lot of love to create it. If you don't have respect for what you're doing, if you don't have love and passion for what you're doing, you're not going to do it. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of dedication to sit in one place and do this the whole while. So all of these things have created a sense of admiration, and if I have to pay a hefty price to buy a handloom sari, I think of those artisans who are sitting behind the loom making that fabric. And I would like my penny to go to a person who is dedicating his time, energy, and love to make a fabric that is going to stay with me. And as you were saying, 30 year concept, I have a concept of, if a clothing is not going to last me more than 10 years, I'm not going to buy it. So most of my clothing till date, like I have clothes that I used to wear as a 14-year-old, as a 10-year-old, and I still wear it after 16 years, 17 years. And I try to refashion it in a way, like I'll wear pants and then a t-shirt that is like that my peers and my friends used to tease me for. Like you're wearing the same shirt, and I'm still like, I'm wearing the same shirt, but you'll not notice it. So the thing is that we have to learn ways, we have to create systems that fit well in our society. And we are at a point that maybe we have to think of a new system. Sadly, if I talk about from the industry perspective, we are not in a place right now where the system is already created for us, like fast fashion, where the value for a clothing is so degraded that it does not even stand anywhere. If I tell you, if you go to these wholesale markets in Delhi,
Yeah.
let's say Karol, you go to Chandni Chowk, or you go
Kanipur,
to
yes.
Tilak Nagar,
Right.
and you go to Mangolpuri, or you go to these places where you get cheap fabric. You can get fabric that you cost you like 40 rupees a meter, 30 rupees a meter, and that fabric is insanely thin. Like people are buying that fabric. And I just asked what fabric this is. It was a cotton lining, and it costed 10 rupees per meter. And I tried to tear it down, it got torn. And I was like, you're making a fabric. It is, it has lesser GSM than a paper. It is going to tear apart, it is not going to last. So that value that we are creating in a fabric, the quality that we are going to sustain, is insanely low. Brands are using similar kind of materials, and it is mostly synthetic in nature. um, we are at a point where we and the system itself does not know what the fabric is, where the fabric is coming from, what is going inside our clothes. Nobody knows. I tried doing this, and because we don't have adequate systems in place, if you have a very immediate wedding coming up, let's say,
Mm.
and you don't have clothes, and you have to go and buy, because me being sustainable does not mean my whole family is sustainable. And I have to take my brother to these clothing stores to buy him clothes, because he's not going to wear a sari. And even if I try to convince him to wear something like a kurta pajama, he's not going to wear it. He wants a tailored suit. So I took my brother to the store for getting his suit made, and I asked the salesman that what kind of fabric this is, because it's a very bad habit of mine to inquire more than I should. So he was like, हाँ ये तो प्योर फैब्रिक है, एंड आई वाज लाइक कौन सा प्योर, प्योर तो कोई फैब्रिक नहीं होता. एंड वो कहता नहीं, तीन वेराइटी आती है, एक सेमी, एक प्योर और एक जो सिंथेटिक होता है वो. So I was like, so you don't know what fabric this is? I searched for a tag and there was no tag, no care and maintenance written, no nothing to be mentioned about the type of fabric or the quality of the fabric. Neither the salesman was worried or the consumers who are there were worried about the same thing. There are no protocols in place or some government guidelines that would mention it. We should by mandate have care and maintenance on a piece of cloth, but it does not mandates on the cloth that is made outside of India, you know. So even if we have some regulations in place or some laws in place, the governance is not there, because I've seen hefty amounts of clothes that do not have a care and maintenance tag on it, or the composition written on the cloth itself. So why is it important that we know this? Because blended fabric or the fabric that is synthetic in nature is not biodegradable. It is going to the landfill and it is going to stay there. So coming back to the the problem of landfills and how the fabric is landing in the landfill, when we are talking about the value of cloth or perceived value of cloth, we should account for what it is going to impact the planet, or how is it going to impact the environment in a whole system. So that system perception is missing, and our view of a article as a product is really going to impact the planet in a wrong way, and we do not want it as a society. That is for sure. So why don't we look at it? Because just perspective, we should remember this figure that 92 million tons of the fabric that is created annually, that is 100 billion, actually lands back to the landfill. It is not getting recycled or you know uh, getting biodegraded. And also when I talk to my friends who had studied the same course, they have the same level of education as me, and when I talk to them about sustainability of a fabric, what I listen is that I send it for recycling. And I said, where? To H&M. And I was like, that's a very good start. You are sending your clothes to be recycled to a mass polluter of this planet, and you're trying to make an impact that is not going to happen in that system. So there were reports that say that H&M actually sends back those fabrics that are coming in the recycling bins that they have to landfills. So that is what the system perspective that I'm talking about is missing right now. And I would really like to create, or actually raise awareness about the cause, that see, this is how we can stop it, and maybe in a visual way that sits really well with our generation or with younger people, create some sense of admiration or value for a certain activity that was otherwise missing. When I talk about composting or saying no to plastic, nobody listened to me, literally nobody. Before I started Instagram, or before I started this space, nobody had any value for this kind of activity. When I as a normal person, when I used to go with my friends and I used to say that I don't want a drink in a plastic cup, or I
Hmm.
don't want a plastic bottle to be served at my table, please
Hmm.
take it away and bring a normal water. They used to say that this is so unhygienic, you don't know what water has right now, and who has touched your water, you don't know. And I
Mhm.
was like, same goes for your food. You don't know where it is made and who has touched it. So
Mhm.
why are you being so finical about it? Don't eat it. So that was there. But I've seen that since I've started Bland Boba and I've started raising awareness in a visual sense, making reels of it, suddenly it has become trendy with my own peers and friends. They do not raise their eyebrows anymore on how I'm saying no to plastic, or why I'm not letting a plastic bottle come to the table. They'll just say, oh yeah, this is sustainable, right, Samriti? And they'll just try to accommodate my requests accordingly. And even they'll show me, my friends have started doing this, that they'll come up to me and say that I'm carrying a tote bag, Samriti. And I was like, this is insane. Like, I don't know about the larger society, but at least I'm going to touch my own friends and family. And that is the impact that I wanted to see for a long period of time. So Bland Boba has at least made that single bit of change in my life that I used to cry for, that please, for God's sake, give it that, give that to me.
That's really wonderful. And knowing all these things from a youth, सबसे पहले तो समृद्धि, once again, kudos to you that sweet little 26-year-old is loving this fact and she's spreading this awareness. And बहुत अच्छा लगा ये सुन के भी when you're saying कि at least चलो बहुत बड़े लेवल पर नहीं, but आपके friends अब धीरे धीरे eyebrows raise करना बंद हो चुके हैं. I really wish that every individual gets so inspired and motivated like this कि वो अपनी इंडिविजुअल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को समझे. दैट इज द ओनली रिक्वायरमेंट कि आप अपनी कॉन्शियस चॉइसेस को समझें कि क्या मुझे कोई भी चीज सच में चाहिए है, क्या मुझे उसकी जरूरत है. बस वो एक बार सोचने की जरूरत है रादर देन की ट्रेंड. जैसे कि आपने थोड़ी देर पहले बहुत अच्छी बात बोली थी समृद्धि कि जैसे ही कोई फेस्टिवल आने लगता है, एक तो ये सेलिब्रिटी एंडोर्समेंट्स वगैरह, आई थिंक दे आर ऑलवेज प्लेइंग विद अवर माइंड्स बिकॉज हम एज अ चलो एक फॉलो करने का जो है ना वो जनरेशनल से चला आ रहा है कि सम हाउ अवर ब्रेन्स वर्क कि ओके उसने पहना है, लेट्स ट्राई आउट. एंड फिर उसमें मार्केटिंग का काम तो है ही दैट इफ यू गो टू शॉप्स दे विल बी लाइक शोइंग यू ये दैट सेलिब्रिटी वोर ऑन दैट डे, दैट सेलिब्रिटी वोर. सो दे आर प्लेइंग विद योर माइंड दैट ओके यू कैन स्टिल लुक लाइक दैट समवन सम पर्सन if you're going to buy this piece of clothing. So I think इस mindset को change करने के लिए आप जैसे यूथ की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है. Guys, and once again to all my listeners, her Instagram handle is bland_boba. Go visit her. She has been sharing these small, doable, sweet little things which she is herself doing. चाहे फिर वो घर पे बेसन का फेस पैक लगाना हो या रियूजेबल अपनी बॉटल कैरी करना हो, या जिस तरह से समृद्धि ने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बोला कि वो किस तरह से अपने कपड़ों को मिक्स एंड मैच इस तरह से करती है कि वो ट्रेंडी भी लगे and she is able to repeat her outfits also. And kudos to you Samriddhi, matlab you are doing your PhD also. I'm sure you're struggling कहीं ना कहीं. peer pressure एक youth के लिए हमेशा काम करता है, लेकिन you have tried your best कि आप उसके साथ चल के कहीं ना कहीं छोटा ही परसेंटेज ही सही उनको भी इन्फ्लुएंस कर पा रहे हो. सो दैट्स रियली वंडरफुल, दैट्स रियली कुडोज. एंड यहाँ पर अगेन मुझे कोट याद आता है विच वाज बाय फैशन डिजाइनर ज्ञानी वर्सेस, don't be into trends, don't make fashion own you, but you decide what you are, what you express by the way you dress and the way you live. So I think हमें अपने ऊपर काम करने की ज्यादा जरूरत है rather than कि सिर्फ ट्रेंड्स को फॉलो करने की. I think we should be happy in our own cloth, we should be happy in what we make our choices, we should be happy in what we are wearing. फिर वो ड्रेस आपका 10 बार पहना हुआ क्यों ना हो, बचपन से पहना हुआ क्यों ना हो. और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा बट यहाँ पर सेम थिंग, कई टी शर्ट्स तो ऐसे हैं जो अभी तक चले आ रहे हैं जस्ट बिकॉज वो फिट हो रहे हैं, फटे नहीं, तो ऐसा लगता है व्हाई नॉट, क्यों नहीं पहने हम उसको. वो ट्रेंड से अपनी माइंडसेट को हटाना बहुत जरूरी है कि ओके मेरे को फैशन ट्रेंड सिर्फ इसलिए फॉलो नहीं करना है, मुझे ड्यूरेबिलिटी भी देखनी. चलो आपके ब्लैंड बोबा पे क्लोथिंग से हटकर एक चीज डिस्कस करना चाहूंगी. समृद्धि हैज बीन शेयरिंग अ लॉट ऑफ रील्स अबाउट वाटर पोल्यूशन एंड एयर पोल्यूशन टू. ऑफ कोर्स जैसे कि वो दिल्ली में रहती हैं तो दिल्ली के AQI के बारे में आई एम श्योर सभी लोग बहुत अच्छे से अवगत हैं. एंड अनदर थिंग इज वाटर पोल्यूशन. तो समृद्धि हैज बीन लाइव ऑन लाइक यमुना जाकर शी हैज सीन द थिंग्स. सो समृद्धि मुझे ये बताओ कि जब हम पोल्यूशन की बात करते हैं, ऑफ कोर्स पोल्यूशन इज वन सब्जेक्ट ना जो बचपन से एसेज में बहुत लिखा है, बट ऐसे लिखने से सोल्यूशन नहीं मिला है. एंड मैं बचपन में यमुना जाती थी. आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर गणेश उत्सव के टाइम पर विसर्जन होता था, राइट? सो वी यूज्ड टू गो देयर एंड इट्स बीन 40 years, of course. Things have changed drastically. सो अब ये पोल्यूशन या नदी ओवर कंजम्पशन, सो देयर आर लॉट मेनी थिंग्स जिसकी वजह से यमुना वो यमुना नहीं रह गई है, इट इज ओनली पोल्यूटेड। और ये सिर्फ एक
Hmm.
यमुना की बात नहीं है, लाइक आई हैव इंटरव्यूड मेनी पीपल हु आर इनटू प्लॉगिंग, हु आर इनटू बीच क्लीनअप्स, हु आर इनटू वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, जो कि बहुत कोशिश कर रहे हैं उनके सराउंडिंग्स में जितने भी रिवर है, वाटर सोर्सेस हैं, लैंडफिल डंप्स हैं, उनको क्लीन रखा जाए। तो मुझे ये बताओ कि लाइक आई हैव सीन योर रील्स जो आपने यमुना में जाकर जिस तरह से किया था, एयर पोल्यूशन है, हाउ वाज द रिस्पॉन्स? बिकॉज मैं ये क्यों पूछ रही हूँ, क्योंकि एज ए यूथ, जैसे कि आपने अभी मुझे कहा कि हाँ एट टाइम्स फ्रेंड्स कन्विंस नहीं होते थे, दे आर ऑलवेज आस्किंग यू क्या ये हाइजीनिक है, क्या जरूरत है तुझे ये करने की, क्या जरूरत है ट्रेंड ना फॉलो करने की, क्या जरूरत है इस चीज को अवेयरनेस देने की। सो व्हेन यू गो एंड shoot these kind of awareness reels, या आप जैसे यमुना पे जाते हो, do you think that we are able to convince at that level? Are we able to find the solution? Because of course ये यमुना है या गंगा है, इनकी पोल्यूशन को लेकर बहुत कंसर्न्स है, गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग देयर बेस्ट, लेकिन जब तक मुझे लगता है इंडिविजुअल एफर्ट नहीं आता ना, वो एफर्ट्स उतना काम नहीं करेंगे। बिकॉज हम क्या सोचते हैं, नदी में बहा दिया, हमारा काम खत्म हो गया, बट नहीं, वो नदी में हमने जो बहाया है, वही अगर हमने रिफ्यूज किया, उसको रोका, तो आई थिंक वहां पर गवर्नमेंट का काम या ऐसे क्लीनअप्स करने वाली एजेंसीज का काम भी बहुत कम होगा। सो मुझे ये बताओ, व्हाट इज योर थॉट? क्या ऐसा लगा था कि जब आप पहली बार उसको शूट करने गए थे, एंड व्हाट डू यू थिंक दैट इस तरह के एफर्ट्स, आर वी एबल टू कन्विंस पीपल, एंड हाउ लाइक ऑन अ स्पैन यू वुड रेट इट कि ओके यस इट हेल्प, और एटलीस्ट यू आर एबल टू कन्विंस कि हाँ हमें रिफ्यूज करना चाहिए चीजों को डंप में या पानी में जाने।
So, Prachi, I would say, when I was standing on a Yamuna bank, I was, challenged myself with a mindset that, has been deeply enrooted in me through a cultural perspective. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was standing on a cremation ground. And, Yamuna is actually a site, it was Nigam Bodh Ghat, and just behind us was a cremation site. We could see fumes rising up, and it was so how can I say, I was brought up in a very uh, how would I say, protected environment, and I was never introduced to all of these things. So I've never, how can I say, it was really a sight for me, because the water that I put my hand in, somebody's ashes were there. So it was a huge thing for me, and I had to fight that mindset, because I the thing that I explained to myself was, someday I'll be there too. So why am I being so cynical about it? And the energy, and being impure or pure is something that kept coming to my mind. I was fighting it all the way while shooting the content, while standing there. In the first place, I felt that this is not a place that I should even be standing on, and it was a huge thing that I had to face. But I know that most of the people in India are fighting the same thing, because it is a cultural thing, and it is not related to a sense of sustainability or for planet. So I would say the thing that is happening to most of our rivers in the country is the sense of, getting rid of what is, sitting on your mind, or getting rid of impure energies that you just throw away with things. So I've seen people, dumping all their puja materials in the river. After every ritual, you can't keep the puja material at your home, so they are dumping it in the river, and not knowing that river, technically, traditionally, when we used to do it, I'm not going to blame the practice, because I belong to the same faith. So traditionally we used to not have plastics in the material, and river itself has a purifying capacity. So there is scientific evidence that indicates that river has some kind of magical powers, that it can purify itself. But we need to realize that it has a biological activity behind it. It has a lot of bacteria, it has a biological culture in it that is responsible for that activity. But if we put materials like plastic, if we put materials that are not going to biodegrade on their own, that capacity goes away. So we are actually killing what we call holy in the river itself.
Hmm.
So this is a perception or a mindset that I myself had to fight while standing on that Yamuna bank while shooting the content. And saw the same thing with my peer who went with me. So Bingo Anjali was there with me for shooting the content, and we both had the same thing that we had to fight with while making the content. Uh, but I would say, while I was looking at the kind of trash that was there in the river itself, one, I could see the puja samagri that was being discarded in the river. That is from every puja ritual that is there. There were ashes in the river. There were, plastic packages, and I was thinking, how come a bhujia packet is there in the river? Nobody is using it for, some kind of puja activity. But then I saw a person who was living in the settlement that is there in on the Yamuna bank in the Nigambod Ghat. There are people who are living over there. It is a village. They came and they dumped a egg tray inside the river, right? So I was like, you could have easily thrown this in a dustbin, and that could have gone to a landfill or somewhere, at least not in the river.
Hmm.
So it was too far for me to pick up, at least. Otherwise I would have. But at the same time, I was fighting that thing of, for the first time going to a ritual bank where I was actually not allowed to go. When I came back and I told my family that, see, I went to Nigamgo Bodh Ghat, I was scolded really bad. That how dare you. And, uh, then again, we are protected. We are, raised in a family where, they don't even let you hear those words. And, fighting and going to those banks and, raising awareness for a cause is a whole lot of, it takes a lot of things. And coming back to my point that, it's a whole system, not a particular incident that is going to bring a change. Blogging would not bring a change. Any kind of government program, let's say Namami Gange,
Hmm.
they are investing so much, yet why not the quality of river is improving? We have to see that it is a whole system that is going to make a change, not a singular event or a particular individual who is going to be held responsible for the change. If we want to preserve the holiness and sacredness of our rivers, if we want to have mahakumbs every time, that in next 112 years, if we want to have another mahakumbh,
Hmm.
and if we want that our rivers stay holy till then we have to look at things that what we can do as a system, and how we can contribute to the system as an individual.
Individual. Right.
So all of these things come handy. And yes, as a consumer, as a individual, we have some responsibility of not throwing trash, at least in the rivers, and seeing what kind of material we are disposing and putting in the rivers. Just for reference, there are bins that are placed right beside a river or a river bank. You can discard the plastic that you brought with you, with your puja samagri there. You can look at fabrics that you have brought. You can discard it there, because that that is going to take longer. And as I talked about, the composition of fabric has changed drastically. It does not really has all cotton. It has some kind of viscose mixed with it. Even with the chunaries that come, we should not think that it is a puja cloth and it is all sustainable. It is not. It is not going to biodegrade on its own, and it is not a river where it belongs. It maybe belongs to a recycling facility, but it can't be even recycled, so it has to go to a landfill. So
Right.
until we are coming up with solutions that how can we make it sustainable and how we are going to make it biodegradable, till the time we are going to improve the system and look at how perspectives can change, we should at least refrain from throwing trash in the rivers itself. So
Absolutely.
that.
And very well said, समृद्धि. इंडिविजुअल एफर्ट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग आई थिंक जो बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. और आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि एक ना साइकोलॉजी यहाँ पर भी प्ले करती है कि वो ट्रेडिशनल कस्टम्स, मतलब मैं अपने घर में इस बात को लेकर बहुत बार लड़ और बहस कर चुकी हूँ कि पूजा की जो सामग्री है या हो जाने के बाद या विसर्जित के बाद पानी में बहाने से यू आर नॉट गेटिंग रिड ऑफ इट। इंस्टेड आप वाटर के एनिमल्स को पोल्यूट कर रहे हैं, आप उसके आसपास के जो लोग रह रहे हैं, जो हैबिटेट्स है हु आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन दैट वाटर, उनको कर रहे हैं। बिकॉज हर इंडिविजुअल को लगता है मैंने तो बस इतना सा ही डाला है, बट हर इंडिविजुअल, वही जैसे एक कहावत है ना, said 1 billion people it's just one straw, it is the same thing। हर इंडिविजुअल अगर अपना उस पूजा की चीज को ये ना समझे कि ओके इट इज ऑल कस्टमरी, आई थिंक ये सब भी हमारे अंदर किसी न किसी ह्यूमन ने ही डाला है कि उसको पानी में बहाना है, उसे घर पे रखना अच्छा नहीं है, पानी में बहाने से ही आपको उससे मुक्ति या तृप्ति या जो भी है प्राप्त होगा। वो माइंडसेट का चेंज आना बहुत बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। एंड इसके लिए मतलब I will say people like you who are running these kind of Instagram handles and advertisements, of course, they play a major role। Instead of showing कि thrift stores में easily available कम रेट के कपड़े हैं, instead of showing कि okay it is okay to follow customs and traditions in the name of customs and traditions, instead of thinking कि उसका environmental impact क्या है, हमें इन चीजों पे फोकस ज्यादा करना चाहिए। ये चीजें ज्यादा शो करनी चाहिए कि what can be the substitute, what are the alternatives। and once again मतलब समृद्धि आपके हैंडल का मैं फिर से नाम ऑफ कोर्स बताना चाहूंगी लिसनर्स। हर इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल इज bland_boba, which is BLAND_boba। Of course I will be sharing the link at the in the podcast link also। Please do follow her, plus please see how much the youth of today is aware, how much they are trying to spread this awareness, because they know this is going to harm, this is going to have an environmental impact। and as an individual सभी लिसनर्स से फिर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी, छोटी छोटी सी चीजें हैं, गवर्नमेंट अपना काम कर रही है, एजेंसीज अपना काम कर रही हैं, लेकिन उनके उतना कर देने से सोल्यूशन नहीं मिलेगा जब तक कि हम खुद अपनी चॉइसेस, अपनी कॉन्शियसनेस को अवेयर नहीं करेंगे। हम ये नहीं डिसाइड करेंगे कि नहीं मुझे आज एक नई टी शर्ट या नया कपड़ा नहीं खरीदना है, मुझे एक प्लास्टिक की थैली में ये सामान ले जाकर नहीं फेंकना है, मुझे प्लास्टिक की बोतल नहीं लेनी है, जो कि जैसे कि आपने थोड़ी देर पहले कहा था वेडिंग सीजन, आई थिंक वेडिंग सीजन तो सबसे ज्यादा वेस्ट सीजन मुझे लगता है। बी इट प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स, बी इट द आउटफिट्स, बी इट द सामान जो भी उसके साथ जुड़ा हो, बिकॉज हमने हर चीज को ना सिर्फ एक एक्सक्लूसिविटी या शो ऑफ से जोड़ दिया है, जो कि कम होना बहुत 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 ज्यादा जरूरी है। So, Samriddhi, thank you very much for sharing such insightful and such motivating things with us. And of course, I would request all the people who are listening this, do follow Samriddhi and do try to inculcate the things which she is trying, because अगर आज का यूथ इतना जागरूक है, मुझे नहीं लगता इतना मुश्किल है बाकी लोगों के अंदर जागरूकता लाने में। आपको बस थोड़ी सी सोच बदलने की जरूरत है, and that is very very important। Finally, Samriddhi, any tips which you would like to share with my listeners as a sustainability enthusiast and as a youth influencer, especially? Please.
Yeah. So, Prachi, I would say that, the pot that you had made out of an ice cream cup in the background really looks nice. And, I was looking at it for the whole evening. Like, I was like, I have a poor eyesight. I was not able to see. Like, I was like, is it an ice cream cup? It looks so pretty. Oh my God. So, yeah. So the tip that I have is this only, we can start small. It does not take extra money. It just takes, extra efforts from our end, if anything, to think sustainably in the first go. But if you start doing things sustainably, it becomes a habit of yours. So, the one tip that I would have is that, if you want to start being sustainable, start with small steps, and don't judge yourself on the kind of decisions you are making, right? Simple things that you can do is, like, start with carrying a tote bag and a water bottle. That is the least thing that you can do for the environment. To not buy plastic, at least in polythene bags at the grocery store, and plastic bottles when you're outside for water. So these are the small things that you can do. These are completely avoidable things that we are, putting to the landfills, and can be really stopped. One thing that is there is that polythene that comes for groceries. सब चीज़ों के साथ मिल जाता है, सब्जी लेने जाओ वहाँ पर मिल जाता है। कभी कभार तो मुझे भैया को बोलना पड़ता है, वो दे देते हैं और फिर निकाल के देना पड़ता है कि नहीं चाहिए, I'll take it as it is. So it is a whole thing, it would it is a learning curve. Like, you'll have to fight a few people, maybe in your family. So in my family was like, we need that for packing our food. And I was like, why are you packing your food? नहीं, वो लीक हो जाता है ना, तो इसलिए पॉलिथीन चाहिए होती है हमें घर में. So they'll, they'll get that plastic. So I will like, now I'll go for grocery shopping, so I have to take an extra step. तो
Mm.
आप एक एक्स्ट्रा स्टेप लीजिए. अगर आप सस्टेनेबल लाइफस्टाइल जीना चाहते हैं, आप इन्वायरमेंट के लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं, तो छोटे छोटे स्टेप्स रोज लीजिए. हो सकता है कभी कभार आप ना कर पाए. कभी कभार मैं भूल जाती हूँ अपने बैग में टोट बैग रखना. तो मैं क्या करती हूँ, अपने बैग में ही सब्जियां डलवा लेती हूँ या फिर अपने बैग में जो चीज रखना होता है वो रखवा लेती हूँ.
Very
अगर
good.
मेरे पास कुछ भी नहीं है ना, तो मैं अपने हाथ में ऐसे कैरी करके ले आती हूँ उसे. तो इट
Good.
जस्ट टेक्स एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट्स. एंड अगर मैं नहीं कर पा रही हूँ, तो कभी कभी क्या होता है कि घर पे प्लास्टिक आ ही गया, कोई ले आया है, तो मैं,
Mm.
ऐसा नहीं है कि उनके ऊपर चढ़ जाओगे पूरा राशन पानी लेकर कि क्यों लाए हो. Let it be. So, it's about intentions and how you want to bring a change, and not about every step.
Right.
I get comments, and a lot of it, that, I was making a reel the other day in a car. So, and how we should slow down a little bit, and we are heading towards a doomsday if we continue the same kind of consumption cycle that we are having. So the comments that I had were like, पहले कार से उतर then बात करेंगे. So just because I
Oh.
was sitting in a car, so I got all those comments, and it was not one, it was more than 100 comments who were like that. So
Okay.
it was a whole cycle, and I got to understand that, people would judge you no matter what you do. And they would not realize that, things do not happen singularly. As a, closing remark, I would say that, be kind. And it's all about the intentions that you carry. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and try to be kind to, the planet and the animals as well. If you bring that kindness in your life, and if you start thinking in a way ki, maybe it's okay to have one single bag of plastic right now, but
Mm.
what if I start carrying a tote bag, and let's see how this is going to impact the planet, how me carrying a water bottle is going to bring a change. अच्छा लगता है अंदर से ना, मतलब इफ यू स्टार्ट डूइंग इट, अच्छा लगता है कि हाँ, मैं कुछ कर रही हूँ, अपने लिए कर रही हूँ, मेरी भी हेल्थ इंप्रूव हो रही है, दूसरों की भी हो रही है, और प्लानट भी सुंदर हो रहा है. प्लीज जस्ट ट्राई टू डू दिस इफ यू कैन.
That's really wonderful. And yes, बिल्कुल अच्छा लगता है. आपका individual effort बहुत ज़्यादा matter करता है. Because sustainability is about being responsible for the impact of our actions on the environment, on society and on future generations. और ये थी हमारी future generation talking beautifully about sustainability. And I loved how she has even survived the peer pressure. She has gone through all these things ki nahi, I will still try my best. And she has successfully landed up having this beautiful Instagram page jiska ki naam bland_boba hai. So guys, do follow her, do check out her profile. She has been sharing these छोटी छोटी चीजें जो कि जिस तरह से समृद्धि ने कहा एक छोटा एफर्ट भी मैटर करता है. एंड जैसे कि आपने अभी कहा ना, आपको कमेंट्स आए पहले कार से उतर. माय पॉइंट इज कि आप जो बाकी चीजें कर रहे हो वो नहीं देखते. सो यू आर राइट, पीपल विल ऑलवेज पॉइंट यू नो व्हाटएवर यू डू. बट यस, कीप डूइंग द गुड वर्क बिकॉज यस, जैसे कि आपने कहा अच्छा लगता है आपका इंडिविजुअल एफर्ट करने के बाद एटलीस्ट यू आर सेटिस्फाइड. लाइक मेरे साथ होता है, मैं अगर बैग लेके निकली हूँ, लाइक मेरे बच्चे अब जानते हैं मॉम टिश्यू पेपर यूज नहीं करेगी, मुझे इतना पता है एटलीस्ट उनको वो रियलाइजेशन है. वो जानते हैं कि ये घर से बाहर निकलेगी तो अपना हैंकी ही लेकर जाएगी. और कभी मैं अगर हैंकी भूल जाती हूँ, अब क्या करोगे? मैंने कहा डोंट वरी, आई हैव माय वेज. मैं हाथ को ऐसे ऐसे कर लूंगी. आई कैन यूज माय कपड़ा विच आई एम वेयरिंग बिकॉज आई कैन वॉश इट घर जाकर. इतना कोई गंदा नहीं हो रहा है. सो यस, छोटे एफर्ट्स मैटर करते हैं. टाइम लगता है, कोशिश करनी पड़ती है, बट वो कोशिश करनी कभी मत छोड़िएगा. समृद्धि, थैंक यू वेरी मच. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर sharing all the gyan and all the experiences which you had, especially as a youth. Because हम जितने भी एफर्ट्स करते हैं ना, वी आर ऑलवेज सेंट्रिक फॉर द यूथ, फॉर द यूथ, फॉर द यूथ. और जब यूथ इतना जागरूक है, सो आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं हम सक्सेसफुल जरूर होंगे. अपने एफर्ट्स करने हमें नहीं छोड़ने हैं. That is all I can say. Do follow bland_boba. Samriddhi has been sharing beautiful things on her Instagram profile, and may your tribe grow. Thank you once again, Samriddhi. Thanks for being on Green Tattva Talks.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you, Samriddhi. सो तत्व गर्ल, आज के लिए इतना ही। गर्ल विल बी बैक विद मोर मोटिवेटिंग, इंस्पायरिंग एंड यूथफुल स्टोरीज। तब तक हंसते रहिए, मुस्कुराते रहिए, अपनी उस छोटी सी कोशिश को करना कभी मत छोड़िए। बिकॉज जैसे कि एक कहावत है, फैशन इज नॉट समथिंग दैट एग्जिस्ट इन ड्रेसेस ओनली, फैशन इज इन द स्काई, इन द स्ट्रीट। फैशन हैज टू डू विथ आइडियाज, द वे वी लिव, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग। सो बस अपनी उस आइडिया को आने दीजिए, ऑल्टरनेटिव्स ढूंढिए, अच्छी अच्छी चीजों को, क्वालिटी को ध्यान में ज्यादा रखिए, रादर देन की गेटिंग इन्फ्लुएंस्ड ओनली बाय एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स या मार्केटिंग। आई थिंक आपका हर स्टेप, अगर आप थोड़ा सा सोचेंगे कि क्या मैं अर्थ या प्लैनेट के लिए कुछ कर पा रही हूँ, बस वही मैटर करेगा। सो आज के लिए इतना ही। थैंक यू, प्रणाम, बाय बाय, नमस्कार।